Okay, we are recording. Welcome to our very first 2019 Dream Team call. I'm so excited to see all of these faces, and I hope that I see a few more jump on as the call goes forward. We are going to start this call with a little video, and it says it's like 3 or 4 minutes long, but it's actually only about 2. Make sure when you're jumping on that you do mute yourself so that we don't have a lot of background noise. Here we go. I can see Sarah. Sarah, can you see this? Awesome.
My commitment and obsession is always to
Wait a second. Make sure there's no kids in the room, FYI. All right, here we go.
be better today than I was yesterday. If I have to make sacrifices to do that, so be it. If I have to tell that person I can't go out drinking with him anymore, so be it. Because that's not what I value. Anything or anyone that is taking me further away from my dreams has to go. I'm committed to self-development, not self-destruction. And you know, any person that is meant to be with me on the journey will choose that higher road with me. Yes, a tougher road, but it's a much more rewarding one. I want my life to mean something, to be able to look back at my life and say, yeah, I made some tough decisions, but they were the right decisions. So many people don't get it. They piss their life away every weekend for what? So they can complain about their current circumstances for the rest of the week? Screw that. No chance. I'm in charge of my own life. It's all on me. I take responsibility, I take action, and I get shit done. You will never hear me complain about another person or circumstance as the reason I'm not where I want to be. If I don't like where I am, time to knuckle down and work harder. I am a perfect reflection of the hard work or lack of work I put in. And luck, that only comes to those who have paid their dues. If I am weak in a certain area, it won't be for long because I'm committed to be better. I will learn. I will read. I will make it happen. I will find a way. I will work until that weakness is turned into a strength. No one can beat me because I don't give up. I'm relentless. You might knock me down, but I never stay down. It's time to rise. Rise up to your potential. Rise up past your limitations. Rise up past your family or friends' limitations. Set the standard for those around you. Don't conform to the standard like a sheep. Get out and lead the way. Get up. Rise up. Man up.
Okay, I just had to share that video with you girls today and you guys today. It just popped up as a new video in my YouTube, and I was like, oh, this looks good, and I watched it and was like, okay, this was meant to be on this Team call tonight. They have to listen to this tonight. And it kind of goes with how I wanted to start this call. And I wanted to start this call by, first of all, just reflecting on last year, but really moving forward with what we're going to do this year as coaches and as a team. I am frozen. You guys are frozen, but can someone share in the chat? Can you at least hear me? Can someone let me know if you can hear me? Because everyone is frozen. Good here? Okay, awesome. I'll keep talking. Thank you. Okay, so just reflecting on last year, I want to say, first and foremost, my most favorite part of this team is the team. Is the family atmosphere that we have here, is our close relationships, is our friendships. I heard on a national wake-up call, one of the coaches preaching that in her team, it is always friendship first. And I thought, that is us. That is totally our team. We are always friendship first. But we've also got to move forward past that. And when I was thinking about, why aren't they moving? Why aren't we moving? What's going on? What can we do? What have I done? What has Sarah done? What has Lindsay Rourke done that everyone else isn't doing to where they're up there? Or Lisa, the Star Diamonds, what are we doing that's not happening with the rest of the team? and it's getting shit done. That's exactly what it is. We show up, we do our bats every single day. We are fearless. We post on social media. We do what needs to be done. And that's the next step that our team needs to take. And if you're not doing what needs to be done, you're not going to be able to rise up this year. And I know that you want to rise up. So I'm hoping that this fresh start in this new year is an encouragement for you to do the stuff that needs to be done. And we're going to talk about some of that tonight. Sarah's going to start us off here in a few minutes tonight. And she's going to talk about a really important part of your social media game and how she brings some of her customers in. And then I'm going to talk about what you do once you get a customer. How do you keep those customers? How do you have a high customer retention rate? And then Lindsay's going to jump in and kind of wrap us up about showing up. So I don't have any announcements tonight because I feel like we have been very clear about all the announcements within the Dream Team and Fit Fighter Nation and Sparta. We are going to save our second team call of the month for shout outs. So we're just going to go ahead and we are going to jump into content tonight. So Sarah, you can go ahead and take over.
Hey everybody, I'm Sarah Morris. There's maybe a few coaches on here who don't know me that well, but hi everybody, I'm glad you're here. Like Megan said, I'm going to, oh, you know what, I was gonna turn on, is my dishwasher super loud? Can you hear it? Oh, okay, good. All right. So something I'm gonna talk about, this may not be your jam, but if it's not, use this topic and put your jam in it, okay? But I'm gonna talk about how I share meal planning and meal prep and recipes and the whole nutrition side of what we do on social media. Because I think it's really important that we show how we can bring value to our clients, not just by doing workouts. Because I think that's easy to, it's not easy maybe, but it's kind of a, okay, I'm going to do my workout, I'm going to post about it, right? And people know we work out. But I think a lot of the value that we bring is that nutrition side, right? We aren't dietitians or nutritionists, but we show people how to do it. We show people how it's possible in a busy life or with weird work schedules or whatever it is. That's something that's unique with what we do, right? Other people have workouts, other people have shakes and stuff. We love our products, there's no doubt about it. But this is kind of an intangible thing that we can bring to help people. So not only do we want to do this to share how we can bring the value, but also because just like Shakeology, just like Transform 20, we need to be a product of the product. And we need to do it ourselves, right? We need to be meal prepping. We need to be doing meal plans. We need to be using the recipes and the containers or 2B mindset. And I will admit it, like when I don't do that, that's when I get off track. I will push play on a workout every dang day, but we all know if nutrition isn't happening, the results aren't going to stick or improve, right? So I think just on a personal journey level, we need to be doing this. And even if you don't prep a whole week at a time, or if you know, like Autumn and Fixate, if you haven't watched the foundation videos in Fixate, those are great for you to watch and to share. A lot of my clients, I start them there because it shows you how to do meal prep, but then there's also like an AC style where she just keeps healthy foods on hand, you know? So there's different ways to do it, and which I like because people can really customize it. But when it comes to sharing it on social media, I had some different topic ideas that you might want to think about. So beyond your personal journey, you can show that it's a healthy lifestyle that isn't a restrictive diet. You can show that you're eating carbs and healthy fats, right? You can show that the recipes are actually good. My family likes this and we put it in the rotation. Or I had never tried Brussels sprouts before, but I found this new way to make them, which was totally me. I hated that crap and it's so good, right? And so we could just share that kind of personal experience with people. Prep pictures, time savers, help relate to people with topics on how that can help them throughout the week. I do this, you know, and admit, when I first started doing this, it took me a long time. But once I gave it a chance for a few months or even a few weeks, I can now prep in like an hour and a half. To let them know, yeah, at first you're not just going to walk in the kitchen and, have these beautiful containers filled with food. So it's okay to be honest about that, I think. I offer occasional like live planning sessions. I'll throw that in, and I do that sometimes on our prep weeks, like on a Thursday night, we do a live meal plan session, and that's something that's really appealing to people. Another thing I've done is when I'm completed prepping, I'll actually do a Facebook Live and say, hey, I kind of want to walk through what I did with you. It's been a while since I've done that. I probably needed to do that. And you can use stories to share your prepping too. You can do a post about it, and then you can say, check out my stories for ideas or like more details about what I fixed today. So that'll get them to start watching your stories too. One thing I think from my perspective, before I started meal prepping, I would see somebody post on social media with a refrigerator full of food in these containers, and I would think, I don't have time to do that. Like, that was my misconception, like, I could never do that. That's ridiculous. That is so stupid. That's why it took me 4 years to get over myself, right? But because I was just like, who does that? That's ridiculous. So I think we need to remember those misconceptions that people have, right? I was not the only person scrolling through Facebook, rolling my eyes at those pictures, right? So we need to put ourselves back in those shoes sometimes and think, what can I say to tell them it's not intimidating or hard? So those are some different ways I think that we can start sharing it. Yeah, Lisa, that's great. Yes, we need to refer to our stories. In fact, I did that the other day with just something that Grace and Luke did, just to get people up there to look at them. All right. Another thing I've started doing is not just saying like my accountability group with nutrition and blah, blah, blah. I've been saying I'm including a nutrition workshop. I don't know yet. I just started doing that. I don't know if that's effective, but that's kind of a phrase that I'm, like workouts in nutrition workshop, that I thought might appeal to people that find that part a little bit scary. I wanted to show just a couple samples, if that's okay. I'm going to share my screen. Share. It's been a while since I did a share screen. There we go. Okay. So, come on now. I can't see my tabs. Move. How do I move this guy? Okay, there we go. All right, I wanted to show you some ideas. Actually, Jenny Fellows just posted this today, and I like it because it's not complicated. She's got her containers sitting there, and she's talking about a healthy rainbow of food, and she's got that. Like, doesn't that just look pretty? And it doesn't really take that much time to just kind of plate your food. Every night when I do dinner, whether I'm going to actually post about it or not, if I'm going to take a picture of it, I try to plate it. And I take a picture if I use it or not. I've got it. I put it in my stories or whatever. So I thought this was just a really pretty picture. You can see she has like a neutral background. She's got it set. I think it's important to have, a good frame for your pictures too. Just an example here the other day. This is one I did. It got some responses and messages. Actual meal plan. You can't see all the details of it. You can't see every little word on it, but you can see that it's organized. And then I talk about why, pulling all the pieces together and staying committed because it includes nutrition. So that was just kind of an idea tonight. You can see, speaking of adding value, so we want a variety of posts, right? There's the one I was talking about with the kids that I did in stories, right? Then we've got a recipe, workout, personal development type of post. So I've been trying to be very, you can use like a social media planner to plan out what you're going to post. Oh, shoot. But I've been trying to be sure to have that variety. So here's tonight's. And I used this one. It's a Shanti. It's one from Transform 20. So I tried to use that as hey, this is a new program recipe that we have. And I tried to, kind of my thing is I use Disney plates. I use like smaller kid plates, which I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but use like a neutral background. But I try to be kind of consistent in the way my food pictures look too. This is one I did a while back that got a lot of response, and I honestly think it's just because of how it looked. People, well, this one, didn't get a ton of response, but like 15 people, that's not that great. But there was another time I posted this one and it got really great response. And I think it was just the angle and the way it looked that was really good. Now, I wanted to share too, with your meal plan, whenever you post a picture of it, I like to do it in different ways. I don't always post like this perfect meal plan, because that, once again, you look at that and say, I couldn't do this. I couldn't type out a meal plan like this. But this one, actually, somebody said, oh, that's really pretty. I like colors. I like the colors on it. But if you are interested in doing one like this, it's just in Canva under the meal plan. So that's the one I've started using. But I did want to share too a few, a few sites that are really good, or apps that are really good for food pictures. There's I've just been using my portrait feature like on my new iPhone, because I'm still like crazy and excited about my phone upgrade. So I love the portrait feature for it. There's also Snapseed and VSCO are really good. I have tried those. Those are good. There were a couple other ones that I haven't tried called Foodie and A Color Story. So those might be a couple if you want to try out. Like I said, using a neutral background is good. Plating it, using fun plates, or show your kids plates, like their food and what they ate. That's a good idea too. With the variety of meal plans, like I said, I don't always use like the Canva one. I will like just write it out on a piece of paper and post it. Or maybe I'll have my marker board on my refrigerator that's got dinner every night, just to show people that it's not always this way, you know, or my Excel spreadsheet. I used to use that all the time to count. But I think it's okay to present it in different ways, because that might catch different people's eyes and think, oh, I have a marker board that we put our grocery list on. Like I could do that too, and help them be able to relate to it. And of course, any responses, any likes, any things like that, those are an opportunity to open a conversation with somebody, because people want recipes, they want new ideas, they want things like that. And that's easy for them to ask you about, instead of feeling like you're going to like start selling them. People aren't as nervous to talk to you about food and recipes, or even about meal planning. But ultimately it just brings that value to what we can provide our clients. All right.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. So at the beginning of her call, she said this may not be your jam. And that's true. This may not be your jam, but if it's not, you really need to make it your jam. It really needs to be something that you incorporate into your social media. You don't have to be an expert at it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I think even if you're not an expert and you're not perfect, that's totally okay and going to be more relatable to a lot of people. And right now I'm thinking, you know, I feel like Sarah is a coach that hits her workouts all the time. Like that is something she is good at. Lindsay Rohr, she is really good at those motivational posts. But they both also incorporate recipes and meal plans and things like that. Meal planning was not something that I was good at all. Recipes, healthy recipes, like that was Cheetos and ice cream to me. So that was not something that I was good at. It's something you have to teach yourself, because that is where the demand is, especially with busy moms. They want a meal plan. They want to know that someone can hand them a meal plan, and they want easy, quick recipes that their kids will like. So really be thinking about your niche audience and what it is that they would like as far as the recipes goes and the meal plans, but it needs to become a thing. And if that's you looking at my meal plan for a while and using it, that's totally okay. But definitely you have to start incorporating those. Like Sarah said, she gets a lot of comments and responses and likes, and that my posts that have me showing a picture of food and then saying, would you like the recipe? I get the most responses from those types of posts. So make sure that we are including those posts. Okay, I am going to move on to my topic now, which is once you've signed a coach up, or a customer up, not a coach. Once you have signed a customer up, what do you do? What is my plan moving forward? And I've always had different ways that I have done this. You guys are frozen again. You were not frozen when Sarah was talking to me. Can you let me know in the chat again that you're okay, that everyone can hear me? Okay, sorry. All right. What you can do moving forward. And This topic came from a conversation that I had with a gal that had reached out to me wanting to join one of my accountability groups. And Lindsay and I were kind of talking about it, and we were like, wow, that is really powerful what she just said. And we need to make sure this is something that our coaches aren't doing, or this is something that we need to make sure that we're doing a better job at. And this girl reached out to me and she said, I really want to be in your virtual gym. I really want to be one of your clients. But I want to know what you're going to do differently than the past 2 or 3 Beachbody coaches I've had are doing, because they've all just signed me up and that's it. And I've been done after that. They haven't put me in a group. They haven't helped me. Nothing's happened. I've just been signed up and been left to do it on my own. And my first response to her was, well, number one, I can't push play for you. You have to do this on your own. I can't do it for you. So you're going to have to show up and you're going to have to do this. But I can also promise you that I'm going to be your friend through this, and I'm not just going to leave you hanging. I'm going to put you in a group. I'm going to help you. But also know that I can't do this for you. You have to show up. And I told Lindsay, I kind of had that Shaun T thing where I leaned in and I said, are you going to do the work? And this gal has signed up since then, so I'm super excited. But they sign up with us because they want us as a support system. And I've done things different ways in the past, how I've signed people up, how I've got them started. But I have sat down after that conversation and really created what my plan is going to be for this year once I sign a customer up. And yeah, some of that's incorporated in things I've done in the past, but some things are new also that I'm going to do. So I'm going to look at my notes so that I don't forget anything. First thing I do is I send a getting started packet to them. And it's basically what our prep week used to look like. I'm going to share that with you just a little bit because I'm also going to put it in the Dream Team so you can see it. You don't have to do anything as extravagant as what I am doing or what I have done, but you can check this out and make your own based on that. Let's see. And let me give you a tip. I do all of my videos because all of these little topics, all of these little topics have videos that go with them. Why won't this go away? Hello? Or maybe I'm not going to show you. Yep, that's not going to go away. I don't know what's going on. Oh, well, I'll post it in the Dream Team so that you guys can see it. They all have videos that go with them. And anytime that I go to the hairdresser and I get my hair fixed and she does my hair and I look halfway decent, I will spend that afternoon creating videos for different things, for my challenge groups, for these types of documents, things like that. Whenever I'm feeling good, I will literally change my shirt, make another video, change my shirt, make another video. So kind of keep that in mind because I don't, like right now, I'm looking like a hot mess. I haven't even put makeup on today. This would not be a day that I would want to create videos. But there are days that I'm like, man, I'm rocking this today. I'm going to create some videos. So think about that. And I'll do 1, 2, 3. I'll just keep a list of videos that I need to create because I think videos are more powerful when we're speaking to our customers. So number one, first thing I do is I send that getting started document. The second thing that I am doing is I am sending them a little welcome goodie bag. This welcome goodie bag is not a huge thing. But how much do you love getting something in the mail? And especially someone that you have invested and trusted in to get something to say, welcome, I'm so excited to start working with you. And what this includes is a handwritten thank you, welcome, I'm excited to work with you note. I know there are other coaches that do a typed out note and they put that in there. I prefer to do a handwritten note because I just think it's more personal and it comes from the heart. That's just me personally. You can do whatever fits you best. So the handwritten goodie note, a beach bar, because who does not love those beach bars? And they may not want to initially purchase them because they're already, okay, Shelby Asher, even though it says Lindstrom, Shelby Asher does not like the beach bars because she's vegan. But once they become vegan, she will love them. All right. Beach bars, everybody loves them except for Shelby. It just takes you trying them. So if we can get those into their hands, that's going to be another purchase that they're going to make. That's going to be something else they're going to sign up to get monthly. So I put a beach bar in there. I put an Energize stick in there. because who doesn't love Energize? Everybody wants Energize. So we got to get them to try that Energize and see what that does for them. And then lastly, some kind of a little goodie, whether that's a $1 headband from Walmart, a little bracelet, just something personal in there. It's never anything that costs me very much money at all. It's just something small to put in there. So again, that was a thank you note, a beach bar, an Energize stick, and some little something. And I mail that out to them, and I try to get that mailed out to them within the week. So a couple of days after signing out, usually Mondays are my mail day. So that following Monday that I sign them up, I'll send that out. So that is the second thing. The third thing that I do for a new customer that has signed up is add them to our group, but I welcome them. I don't just add them, I add them and I welcome them and I shout them out just like we do new coaches. I do the same thing with customers. I add them and I welcome them into our virtual gym or your challenge group or whatever it is that you're doing. Number 4 is show up for them and be present in the group for them. That means when they post a picture of their Shakeology, I have some sort of a comment to go underneath that. That means when they do a sweaty selfie, I have some sort of a comment underneath that. Because if they are taking the time to show up in the group, I need to take the time to show up for them. So you've got to show up. And if you're co-leading groups, you need to do the same thing. If you're in a group with your coach and they're leading it, but your people are in it, you need to show up for them. You've got to show up in those groups for people. And the very last thing that I do is I check in once a week with all of my challengers or all of my gym members that are in my gym. And for me, Monday is that day. On Monday, I send a little message that's like a little motivational quote or something. And I'll say, it's Monday. Let's start the week great. How are you doing? Can't wait to hear back from you. Something simple like that. Every Monday goes out to them. If they are someone that's not showing in the group, up in the group frequently, then on Thursday, they get another message from me. And all it says is just checking in on you to see how you're doing. So everybody gets a group message on Monday, and those that aren't showing up get one on Thursday. That is how I show up for my coaches or my customers. That is how I retain my customers and I keep them and they stay with me because of these things that I'm doing. And then I also have little challenges, send them little notes throughout, saying, good job, you're doing great. Congratulations, you've lost 25 pounds. Just those kinds of things. So I also recognize them within the group, but send them little recognition things too. So hopefully that helps you for when you get your new customers this year, which hopefully everyone's going to be getting soon if you don't already have them, to get them started right. And I'm going to let Lindsay wrap this call up.
Hi, everyone. For anyone who doesn't know me, I am Coach Lindsay Rohr. I've been coaching for a little over 2 years now, and I am founder of Spark Fit Nation. So tonight I am coming to you to talk about what I want to title is understanding what sacrifice is to you. Okay. And I want to start with a little story scenario here. I want you to imagine a woman who has just left home at around 18 years old and is getting ready for college. And before she goes to college, she understands that there's this thing called Freshman 15. And she'd struggled with weight in the past and felt really uncomfortable in her own skin and worked hard to stay active and kind of keep the weight off that she had really gained and got a lot of criticism and kind of bullying for in middle school. So here she is in high school fit, and she's going into college with no friends from high school. She's thinking about what college is going to be like, and she's super excited. And the one thing that she knows that she's going to do in college this year, alongside with making a choice as to what her degree is actually going to be, because she wants to do 100 things, is she's not going to gain 15 pounds. She's actually going to lose 15 pounds. And this woman isn't the type of woman that is scared of a scale. A scale doesn't determine who she is. She's gone through enough in her life where she feels comfortable in her own skin, and she's chosen to go to school where no one else she knows is going, and she's ready to go for it. So her freshman year of college, she doesn't go out and party with all the kids that are partying. Her freshman year of college, she starts training for her first road race ever, and it's a half marathon. And she goes all in. She's in running groups on what would have been Facebook and IG. She is finding people on campus that are into running and know more about running than her, and doing like running clubs. She is all in to get to the goal, which is this half marathon at the end of her freshman year. And every time she goes home to her small hometown, everybody's like, whoa, your arms are really muscular and your legs are really muscular. Like, did you lose weight? And she's like, yeah, I lost a little, but I'm running a lot. Like, I feel great. I have all this energy. And she starts to really begin to get this great group of people around her in college that all have goals of getting good grades and getting out in 4 years and getting degrees that they're passionate about. And she starts to harbor this love of self-care through nutrition. And even though nutrition wasn't one of her first degrees, she goes there. So long story short, she originally set out to consider business or teaching or speech pathology or all this other stuff of service. And she ends up getting this nutrition degree, and she ends up becoming this woman who is helping and serving others get to a place where they don't have to rely on what everybody else thinks. I don't know about any of you, but I went to school and I allowed those people who I wanted to hang out with because it was more convenient and easy surround me and kind of derail a lot of my goals. Weight loss, and I don't want that to be the focus here. Weight loss is not the focus. Your focus could be anything. But I know for me, that was something that, and that woman is an accumulation of like 10 different women that I've talked to that are clients of mine. It's not one woman. Okay. But let's pretend that that woman became Alana from To Be Mindset. Let's pretend that the trajectory of her 1 year of saying, I want to run this half marathon, what that did for her, and how it was a lot of small little clicks that got her to the end goal. Ladies and gentlemen, sacrifice can be a negative word if we allow it to be. But that woman, whoever that woman is in your life, who did something that you think is incredible, okay? And each and every one of you are that woman for someone in your life, or man. Do we have any guys on the call tonight? If you're listening back, you as a coach get this opportunity to share simple things that you're doing to make sacrifices in your life. For me, that was eating 2 bites of key lime pie instead of the entire piece of key lime pie here in Key West, because it's the best key lime pie I've ever had. I don't eat it anywhere else. It's amazing, right? And being on this call tonight, my family was like, really, you have to go? And I'm like, yes. And, I told you I have to do this, and it's a sacrifice that I want to make and that I'm willing to make. And I want us all to start thinking about that. So I want you to take a minute and just kind of push back here and think about, it could be someone in history that has done something great. Neil Armstrong was the first man to go on the moon, right? I want you to close your eyes though, and who's the first famous person of any career field that comes to mind as being someone great? Maybe it's a Nobel Peace Prize winner. Maybe it's someone that you just admire, and think about them and put a picture in your mind. Okay. And see them with their biggest accolade, their biggest success. I want you guys to do that if you haven't already done it. So close your eyes if you're not right now. Who's the first person? That just someone who you think is one of the most influential people of the world. And I want you to imagine them with their biggest accolade. Maybe that's a trophy. Maybe it's an award. Maybe it's the recognition they got after they passed away. And I want you to imagine them there. And then I want you to think back and ask yourself, how do you think life started for them? And whether it was an autobiography or biography, maybe you know that. But a lot of those people, we don't. And all of our trainers have talked about this in one way or another on Beachbody On Demand. You can open your eyes now if they're still closed. That step from when they very first started their life, their career course, their health and fitness journey, their writing journey, if it was a writer, their volunteer work, if they were a volunteer, whatever it was, there were small choices that they made. There was 1 year in their life where they decided to go all in on something. And it took sacrifice. What are you willing to sacrifice this year to get where you want to go? And it doesn't have to be in this business. It does not have to be in this business. But if you are someone who's looking to move your business forward, and then you better be thinking about what things are going to sacrifice. And that's something that I am at fault for in my first 2 years. I kept waiting for it to get easy. And I think most of us do. I kept waiting for somebody else to give me all the tools and somebody else to give me all the motivation. I'm a go-getter. I'm a motivated person. But because I don't know all the ins and outs of this business specifically, I wanted to sit in a classroom and have someone tell me all the things that I should do. I wanted to go through a specific training where it was exactly what I needed and I didn't have to like pull from everything on the web. It takes sacrifice, grit. Wherever you want to go to, you got to make the small steps. And consistency is something that we saw with accountability partners. When I looked through your all's forms of what you wanted for accountability partner and what you found is one of your greatest strengths. And I think what we do as coaches, oh, I got to pick up a 35-pounder here. Say hi. Hi. What I noticed the most was that you were proud of your consistency and you were looking for someone else who would be consistent with you. You're already going there, but make your focus. That accolade of that person who you admire at the end was not necessarily their end, but it was what we saw of them being successful. And successful people said no to things that they wanted to do. Successful people sacrificed time and money and other things in their life, to get to where they were going. So what's it gonna be for you? Because here's the deal. Each of you have things so beautiful to offer this world. And if we start sharing what we're doing, what we're giving up, not just all of the great things happening. You know, so many coaches are held back because they're like, I've heard so many of you say, I don't have, like, I don't feel like I'm there yet to really be talking. You get out of your comfort zone and start telling your story about what changes you're making and the sacrifices that you're doing to get there. And that's what's going to make people want to follow you and want to be in partnership with you. They're going to want you as a coach because they're the same tenacity. They want that same passion, and they want to know that you're going to care about them versus some chick with six-pack abs who or six-figure income. Quite frankly, like, you know, I'm looking for the coaches on our team to move me forward and to coach me. And I know that those are going to be the coaches that move me the hardest and the farthest. And that's what our team is about. That's what this business is, the core of this business really is. So maybe this feels like it's a little bit in your face for some of you, and I encourage you to just reflect on that. Like, where's that coming from if it does? Because I love you all. We all love you tonight. And to say, how are you going to show up? How are you going to rise up? And just like that girl in college, you've got to show up and show people what you're interested in. You've got to show up and do the things that might not be convenient to do. You got to look for the group. You have to say yes when a mentor asks you to do something. You got to be on these calls. Being on this call is huge, huge. National Wake Up Calls and team calls are the best way for you to show up. Okay, so super sad that those are going to be huge places for you to show up and rise up in your business if that's what you're looking to do this year. But being clear with what you want to do this year and what sacrifices you are willing to make is where it all starts. I'll leave you with that.
Awesome. Thank you, Lindsay. One thing I just want to kind of to add really quick, and then we can jump off here to what Lindsay said was, as we were looking over your accountability partner application that you filled out, we noticed a lot of you have amazing goals. Like, I really, truly cannot wait to see some of you walk across the stage at Summit. But we looked at those goals, and then we looked at what you said you were going to do to get those goals. And we thought, that's not going to happen if that's all they're going to do. You have to make sure that your actions match your goals. And maybe that means you need to change your goals. Maybe that means, I hope that you need to change your actions. I can tell you that if you are consistent with working a power hour every single day and filling this bat out, you will become a diamond coach. But you have to do it every day. You can't skip days. You can't when you're not feeling it. You can't not do it. You have to show up every day. That is all I did. That is all Sarah did. Lindsay, Lisa, we showed up every day and worked this power hour. No matter what, every day this power hour happened. And then as I became a diamond and became a larger coach, more time had to be added on because my goals got bigger and bigger and bigger. But if your goal is Diamond by Summit, you have to show up every day and work that power hour no matter what. I also wanted to share a book with you based off what Lindsay just talked about in her story. The Compound Effect, if you have not read it yet, highly recommend it. This is the very first book that I read as a coach. And it really talks about those little actions that you take that are going to make huge things happen for you. And I remember Melanie Mitro was talking about it, and I thought, well, I'm going to check this out. So this was the first PD book I ever read. Maybe that's why I love it so much. But I really think it's because it showed me all these little things that I needed to do to make something big happen, and how these little things, like getting up 5 minutes earlier, made a difference. So first of all, I just want to thank you guys for showing up tonight, because that is honestly a huge thing that you are on this call tonight and that you are present tonight. I really hope that we see most of you this weekend, either for the VIP Super Saturday or the regular Super Saturday. I hope that we see your face there showing up. But I think that's all we have for tonight. I'm so excited about this year's, and reading over those forms just fired us up to know what you're wanting to accomplish this year and what we're going to see by Summit. But now we have to show up. We can't get off this call and just do nothing. We have to get off this call and take everything that you've earned and put it to action and know what the next steps are. We are going to start back next Wednesday night, our accountability calls. I highly recommend jumping on those calls. They're every Wednesday night. We keep them to about 15 minutes. They're not very long at all. It is just a place for you to stay accountable to your goals. If you have not reached out to your accountability partner yet, please do that and kind of talk to them about those things that I posted about you talking to them about. Our next team call is the 21st. our Dream Team team call. We are going back to 2 a month, and I'm really excited that I get to see you 2 times a month now. We do have a Fit Fighter Nation call tomorrow night. I know it's a lot having Sparta, Dream Team, Fit Fighter Nation all right in a row. And if you're a newer coach on the team, no, that's not how it usually is. It's just we're all trying to make sure that you are set up for success this year and for this month. And they're all so important that you show up on these calls. Get through these 3 days, and then you'll be good to go, and it's going to calm down a little bit. But these 3 days are super important for you to show up, like Lindsay said, and make that sacrifice. So everybody have a good night, and I'll see you on the Dream Team page. Bye, guys.